Yo, you guys, what is good, man? Welcome back to Real United Talk, where we talk about all matters Real Madrid and Man United. This is going to be a United Matters episode. As you can see, I'm joined by a familiar face. You guys have seen this guy too much. I need to get more. I need to get more guys to feature on this channel, bro. This guy's coming here too much. But yeah, I like him, and you guys
They're
seem to
getting
like him
tired
as
of me,
well.
imagine.
No, I'm not tired of you. I'm just like, shit, I need to expand my reach, bro. But hey, man,
Facts,
I like you
facts.
on the channel, and you always give good takes. So yeah, I'm joined by Mustafa for those who don't already know him. So Mustafa, how you feeling today, man?
Bro, do you want to ask me how I'm feeling right at this very moment?
It feels as if you're about to get into the main. So let me just introduce the topic of discussion before we get into all of that. So today we are going to be talking about life under Carrick so far. 5 games in, and as you guys already know, we failed to get that lucky number 5. Now, Mustafa, you can tell us how you're feeling.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
as much as I'm upset that we didn't get that win,
Mm-hmm.
my takeaway from the Carrick regime so far is we've not lost this year. We've
Exactly.
not lost under Carrick. That's a
Exactly.
positive. 4 wins, 1 draw. To
Exactly.
me, that's a very, very, you know, I'm not used to this. Let me just put it like that. I'm not used to this. Amorim almost took my life, bro. I almost died.
Bro, I
Bro,
was suffering. I was suffering.
you know, when they say when you hit rock bottom,
Mm-hmm.
like the only way is up. Like we're up
Mm-hmm.
now. Like
Mm-hmm.
legit after that City win, I just felt the confidence. I felt like the whole atmosphere, the air
Mm-hmm.
around the Old Trafford Stadium, the air around Stratford. There was just a positive vibe. I could smell the roses. It's like things just started to go up, bro.
Bro,
Just
like, I know
the
what you mean,
depression,
man.
the
I know what you
depression.
mean.
I
I know
was
what you
so
mean.
depressed on that Amory.
Bro,
Like
every
you don't
single
know
day,
what that
like,
guy did to me.
it was
And
so
watching
hard to
Kobe
watch United
Minu,
games, bro.
oh my days.
It was so hard to watch United games.
I feel as of right now, wherever Amorim is, they should find him and they should arrest him and lock him up in maximum security prison.
let's let's chill on that.
Arkham
Let's chill on that.
Asylum. Arkham
Let's chill on
Asylum.
that. Actually, because I want to actually make a point about Amorim, yeah. And I've made this point before. As much as like Amorim was bad, as much as like we suffered, we have had this conversation multiple times. You know how I felt about Amorim, right? I
Yeah.
do feel like Amorim was a needed struggle. I feel like Amorim actually had to happen. Like I feel like it was a necessary evil because if like yes, life was bad, we're losing, people were making excuses for terrible results and everything, but at the same time, like I feel like Amorim did change things at the club for the better. There were some things that changed under him, like in terms of the players and their fitness and everything. I look at someone like Casemiro, like
Yeah.
he's looking the most fit he has looked in a Manchester United shirt because we all remember when he came back and during preseason, he looked a bit biggish and everything. And then look at him after how many months under Amorim, he became one of the better players under Amorim. He became one of the fitter players under Amorim. And there was just, I remember that preseason when everybody came back and everybody was looking fit as well. And then under Amorim as well, I think that, a lot more running, a lot more team play as well in terms of like, just making up the ground for other people and also, the whole thing about players playing out of position is bad, and we all hated that. But at the same time, like playing out of position also helps you, like, also be able to cover multiple areas of the pitch and be productive in multiple areas of the pitch.
The thing with Amorim is, I'm not going to lie to you. With Amorim, it's not like there weren't positives.
Mm-hmm.
There were positives and there were negatives with Amorim.
Yeah,
The thing with Amorim was everything Amorim was doing, like positively impacting the team, was everything that had to do with the team outside of the performances on the
exactly,
pitch, outside of
exactly.
the results. Because if you look at the whole, like the mentality, I feel like one thing that Amorim changed in like the squad and a lot of the players is that mentality of before Amorim, there were a lot of players that there were a lot of like egos, there were a lot of players that
Individualistic
just didn't
players.
there were a lot of players that just didn't care. So I feel like
Yeah.
one thing he did, I'd say like at least he kind of weeded out
Mm,
the bad seeds, the
mm-hmm.
players that he felt
Mm-hmm.
these guys individually, they're going to affect the team negatively. So he got rid
Mm,
of a lot of those egos. He got rid
mm,
of Garnacho, which I felt was a very, very good decision because of the type of personality or the type of
yeah.
person Garnacho is. So he got those kind of players out of the dressing room.
Mm-hmm,
Players he felt personally like this team will not move forward in
mm,
in terms of mentality. This team will not move forward if we do not get rid of these players. Now, when it came to positives or like doing the right things on the pitch, that's where me I felt personally he got it wrong. I understand that yeah, it was a thing of where okay, he wanted to play his system, he needed his players to, the players that he wanted to implement his system. But I felt like it was all about timing. There was a right time to do that, and that time wasn't now.
mm-hmm.
We already went through a very, very terrible season where he said, okay, we've suffered, we have to suffer, but the good days are coming. So in my mind, it's like as much as we've had a very, very bad season, you want to get your players in first before you start to implement your system. Why couldn't you just adapt, work with what you have at that moment in time? And that's why I feel Carrick came in and immediately did. He realized, hey,
Exactly.
that's the problem I had with Amorim is these guys
Yeah.
are in a very, very, very bad position. In as much as I want to play my own football, I shouldn't be focused on my football. I should be focused on the success of
The
the club
team.
at this moment.
Exactly. Exactly.
Now, once
So
we're in a position where, okay, now the club is at a very good position that, I have the players I need and the club is in a good position in a good position. That's when you can now be like, okay, yes, now I can start to integrate my system. I have the players I need. We're in a good position. Hey, let's get these guys playing my football.
mm,
I want you to play here. I want you to play here. I didn't
mm,
like the fact that he was trying to force the system with what he had. It's like,
with
oh,
what you
he's
already had, yeah.
profiling players. It's like, okay, I don't have
Exactly.
my players. And he'll use it as an excuse. Oh, I don't have my players or the players I want. Okay, since that's the case, Ahmad, you're just gonna have to play right wing back. You know that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Where okay, you're just gonna have to play here. Bruno, I'm just gonna have to play you in DM. So just to fit my plans, just to
Just
fit
to
my
fit
system.
something that we don't even know would
Exactly.
work. And you know the
Exactly.
thing with that, yeah. So there's two things I want to comment on. Number one, you're right about Amarim like not adapting, and he needed to adapt, right? Like he did need to adapt, and that whole thing about like just forcing it on the players that you have that you know don't fit, and then make using that as an excuse, and also the people that are now backing you, defending it, being like, oh, but these players are not the players that he needs for his system. Then change the freaking system, at least for now. Change it for now, right? That's what he should have done. I don't like the idea of a manager comes in, and if you don't sign 11 new players, then he can't do the job. I
Yeah.
what do you mean? Like, what do you mean we need to replace our whole attack, then replace our whole midfield, and then get like two extra defenders just for your thing to
Before
work? No,
exactly.
like you haven't even shown us, like you said, like show us something, do something, get us somewhere positive, then you can do your thing.
A
What do you
sign of
mean
good
we have to
faith.
wait for how many? Like this is not career mode, right? Like you can't just
Exactly.
sign 11 players in one window and say to work. So what do you want? You want us to like finish 10th for 3 seasons in a row
That's exactly
until our
what I
thing
was
starts
saying,
working?
bro.
Like it
My
doesn't
own
make any
was for
sense.
him, for me, my own was okay, bro. You said we have to suffer first. You have to get everything you need. Mine
Yeah.
was when is that going to happen? One, two. Do you want us to wait? Do you want us to wait till it's like
You want us to wait and be
2027?
suffering.
Exactly.
Like
How long do you want us to suffer before you say, okay, yeah, you have what you need now?
he didn't
And
even give
now,
us like a timeline. He didn't even say,
exactly.
like, obviously, I know you can't come out and say, oh, you're going to suffer for this amount of time, but like, there needs
Yeah.
to be a deadline for the suffering, bro. Like,
Like, people
Jesus,
say,
there
okay,
needs to
okay,
be a
very
deadline for the
soon.
suffering.
You made it look like okay, we are going to suffer. It's like if to me it felt like an excuse because if you look at it at
It
the same
did.
time, this guy, hey, he might as well have gotten the players and everything he needed, played that same system, and we would still have been suffering. Who knew? I
Yeah.
think
Because
he
you now
one
say that they
thing
need to adapt.
exactly that's another excuse again. You're in the Premier League. One thing this guy failed to understand is you did not come in as a caretaker manager. We
Exactly.
were so in need of results and success at the moment in time that you came in that we brought you in January. We brought him in November. We brought him like
Brought him in November.
in the middle of the season. We brought him
Yeah.
like we brought Amorim in the middle of the season. We could have, hey, we might as well have waited till the end of the season. You did offer us the chance that, oh, let me finish the season with Sporting. In summer,
Mm.
I will sign with you guys. But we said no, we need it to come right away because we're in a mess. We need it to come and start working straight up. So you're coming in with the mindset that, hey, I'm a caretaker. Let me just manage. It's like they're telling you to cook rice for 50
Please.
people with
Yeah.
ingredients that can cook rice for only 5 people. That's how you made
Yeah.
it look like.
Not
You
with the
made it look like,
analogy,
oh,
bro. Calm down on
bro,
the analogy.
you made it look like, oh, I'm just managing.
Ah,
I'm just managing. I
yeah,
don't
I
have
feel what
what
you
I need.
mean.
I don't have what I need.
Yeah.
It's like, bro,
But
start cooking.
actually, on that point though, this is now where I want to be in defense of Amarim
Yeah.
because bringing, like you said, like he wanted to stay as potent of the season starts in the summer because having that system. This is now where I feel like United messed up, and this is where I wouldn't blame Amarim whatsoever. Bringing him November, knowing that you can't really give him that much in the January transfer window, you're not going to
It's
have
a
a summer
mistake.
transfer window in
Yes.
January, is a mistake. And that's now where you have to look at United board and be like, what are you
It was
guys doing? Like,
pressure. You're so right.
that's
I
the
honestly
thing.
don't know what the
That's
pressure,
the thing.
I don't know what pressure they were
I
under
mean,
that,
I know what it was. I know, like, we all know what it was. Like, we were bad. We needed something new, right? But
yeah.
at the same time, like, you're bringing a whole, like, it's one thing to bring in Carrick that is not really good to change, like, the formation and stuff like that. But you're bringing in a guy that is going to change everything that we know about the club, which let's even say that we don't even want that, right? But you're bringing that in, right? It's like you cannot bring that in mid-season. You have to bring that in the summer. You have to give him a preseason. You have to give him a transfer window. You don't have to sign 11 players, but at least sign him 4 players. So this is now where I feel like United messed up, and this
Mm.
is where I would defend Amrim, and that's why I don't really hold it against him for that first season. Yes, it was terrible, and there's no change of system, no change of tactics that should deem a 15th place finish in the
At
Premier
the
League.
same time, they also misled him. Like,
They
if you
did,
look at the interview that he gave, the said interview that got him sacked in the first place
yeah.
was he pointed out that this is not why I came here. This is not what you people hired me to do.
Uh,
And the reason he came out at that moment in time is because in the January window, he wanted players. If you notice, there were many targets, there were many players that we were in touch with before the January window that he was trying to sign. He was trying to, reach out to and like get agreements. And then the
yeah,
United board was like, no, 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 no. We can't spend in this window. We can't. You get. I've
yeah.
noticed one thing about Amorim that I try to say is like he felt that he was coming to take the United job as the manager,
As the
like
manager, not the
gets
coach.
those decisions. Like, hey,
Yeah.
I want this striker, so this is the
Mm-hmm.
striker you're going to go to the window and sign for me. Not,
Yeah.
hey, this is the striker we're signing, manage him. That's
Mm.
how United was operating, and that's the issue I have with the United board. If you look at
It's-
what has happened with Carrick, the thing with Carrick and why we're playing so well under Carrick, which was kind of what United fans were expecting under Amorim, but because of all the false promises or all the things that he felt he was going to get, or the resources or support he felt he was going to have,
yeah.
he didn't get. The reason why he's working for Carrick is because Carrick came in with not much expectation. When you're coming in as a caretaker, the pressure on
Mm.
you is not that much because people look at it as, okay, you're just here to manage the club until we get an actual manager in the summer.
Yeah.
But he came in, and the players have even come out saying that, hey, he's played to the strengths
Of the players.
of the players. Bruno
Yeah.
Fernandez is not a DM. So what are we going to
It's
do?
I mean, come.
I'll play Bruno Fernandez in camp where he's best at. Now
Yeah.
you're sidelining Kobe Manu, who is very good in the
The-
DM role, in the
Yeah. Like
pivot
the
role there.
CM.
Play Casemiro, you play Kobe double pivot, play Bruno in the camp. Now we're playing four at the back. What that gives us is that extra man going forward now. Because
Mm-hmm.
before these guys to play five at the back, we're playing three center backs. We don't have the archetype of players, or we don't have players with the skill sets that can play in those positions that Amorim wanted to enforce. So that's why I felt there was no need for us to play in that system or in that tactic at
At
that
that
moment
time.
in
And
time.
also, like that was also what was going on, right? Like it wasn't just about the transfer window. It was also about like they were telling him that, bro, like you need to change.
You need
And
exactly, and
there
he
was a
was
whole
not
thing. There was a whole thing because I remember there was this game where we actually changed the formation to an extent. I can't remember what game it was,
yeah.
but like we changed. Like it was actually we played forward back or something, and there was like
Pretty
apparently like
well.
there was like pressure for him to like change, right? That they were constantly telling him that look, oh, you need to change. And I think that when that now comes into the transfer window, I think it's like two things. I think number one is like, him saying that like he wants to sign all these players for a system and that like I'll be telling you to change, like how we go to sign players for a system that we wanted to change, number one. And number two, like and this is the point that we all kept on making. You haven't shown us anything that warrants us to sign
That
all
I
these players that
have
you're
to
asking for.
exactly,
Like you haven't like give us results, give us good results, give us top four finish, stuff like that. Give us no, not even Champions League, give
you
us
get
Europa
it,
League,
you get
and they
it.
will not be like, this guy is cooking something.
Now
Let's
you
not
can use
limit
your
him.
system. You know the thing. That's what I
Exactly.
felt. It's like, okay, if this guy actually got us results, first of all, if he got results, it would have been a good position. Now the
Mm-hmm.
players he wants, they would want to come because they're like, oh,
Exactly.
it's United. Don't get me wrong. We have the United pool still. Players will still
Yeah.
always want to play for United, but that thing is
Always.
also attractive as well. Like when players look at their career and it's like, okay, I'm going to a club that's playing in the Champions League. I'm going to a club that's competing for the Premier League. But when we're in a position where we're not competing for these things, and those are the players you're looking for to play your system,
Mm,
they're not motivated to come. They're not seeing
exactly.
results. They're not seeing anything. So why would they want to come and play for a club in a system that you have been using that is not working, that is clearly not working for you?
I
And
mean, we
another
still
thing
pulled
that
though. We still pulled.
no, don't get me wrong, we
We
did though.
still
But
pulled.
another thing that annoyed me was like, if you look at it from this point of view as well, the players that you are now making to play in that system, or we were playing in that system, like at the beginning half of the season,
Yeah.
a lot of them were not going to be in your plans moving forward. So why are we playing that system?
Mm-hmm.
That's a
Mm-hmm.
very,
Mm.
very,
Oh
very,
my
very
God,
good
Mustafa,
question.
that's such a good point. Like, thank you. Like, you don't have these players in your plans. Why are you forcing them to play? Like, just play whatever they want to, whatever they
Yeah,
can play,
and
and
that
then
is what Carrick is
X
doing.
all of them.
And then when you're
Exactly.
ready, X them, bring the players you
X
want, and
them
then
and bring the players like
when you
Mustafa,
not get the
Mustafa, you're
players you
cooking,
want,
you're
you can
cooking,
play
you're
your
cooking,
system. When you not
you're
get the players, you
cooking,
want, play your system.
you're
So
cooking.
bro, life under Carrick. That's what I say, bro. We have to find like bro, Amarim legit made me think with the way
Please.
they presented Kobe in the media, and with the way
Mm-hmm.
Amorim made Kobe look. I was
Like
like,
he's
we
lazy.
don't yeah, he's lazy, he doesn't work, we don't need this guy. He made him look like he's not a United player. Like
Exactly.
he doesn't have the mentality.
Or he's too what's that word? He's too like privileged or like like he
Yeah,
thinks he
like
deserves to play kind of thing.
that kind of
Like
thing. Okay,
it's
you were
not
right
like
about
that.
players like Garnacho with that mindset that oh they feel like they deserve to
Exactly.
play when
Like
they
they
are
feel
not
like they're
showing
bigger
it.
than the club to an
Yeah,
extent,
they
or
don't
like
have
they
that
just feel
skill
like they're
set.
bigger than they actually are. But I just feel like you cannot use that excuse for every single player that wants to play. Like you cannot like Kobe wants to play. And how many did Kobe ever go to the media to say anything? Kobe is
He
a
never spoke
quiet
out.
player. Like I don't even
He
know.
never spoke
The,
out.
the,
Like,
the
look,
biggest thing that happened with Kobe was that his brother doing the whole free Kobe
yeah,
thing, which I don't even think that Kobe approved. I highly doubt that
I don't
Kobe
think he was
approved. I think
involved in that.
I don't think it was. And even if I even think that like even if he knew, it's one of those things where he's like, bro, honestly, just do your
I'm not
thing, but
bothered
like
about
don't
it.
involve
Yeah,
me, kind of thing. Like I feel like that's it. But like you cannot now come and say that oh he doesn't deserve to play,
by now we could have missed out on Kobe, who would have been playing for like a team like Napoli right now.
and then I feel like if Kobe had left, if Amway was still there by the time he come back, he would have gone on a permanent, bro. He would have gone on a
Yes, he would
permanent.
have. Like,
He would
if you
have.
look at it now, that's what's happening with players like Rashford. Rashford has gone. Rashford has openly said he doesn't see himself coming back. He has moved on.
Yeah,
And Carrick has openly expressed like
that he wants him back.
he wants Rashford back. That Rashford is a United player.
But the guy has
Rashford
seen
is
greener
an
pastures, bro.
embodiment. But he has seen good. He has started winning
He has seen,
trophies.
bro. What the
Bro,
guy play with Lamine Yamal? Why would he want to come
and
back to Manchester
exactly. And
United? Like,
bro, Rashford, the numbers he's putting up this season for Barca.
hmm,
That's what I'm saying. Look
calm down,
at it.
calm down, calm
No,
down, calm
no,
down,
I'm
calm down,
saying
calm down.
look at it from the player's perspective.
Yeah,
Okay, he's a rotational player, he's a squad player, he's not
yeah,
necessarily a starter, he doesn't start every game.
yeah.
Now look at the numbers he puts up from being a squad player, from being like
Mm-hmm.
he's performing his role well. The
He's doing his
manager
thing.
likes him. Now look at it for
exactly.
the aspect of his career too. The World Cup is coming up. He's
Definitely
performing.
getting called
He
up.
gets to exactly friendlies come, international break comes, he's getting called up because he's putting on
Yeah.
performances for Barca. Now, put oppose that to if he was in Manu, Amorim is benching him, or he's in Manu, he's not playing well, the team is not playing well. These are the sort of things that the international managers will look at and be like, hey, why call up this guy when there are other players in his position that are currently on form? He's not on form.
Hmm.
He's not even playing. He's not playing well. So Rashford and all these players are going to look at those things and be like, for my career, I'm just going to have to move on. And if you look at
Hmm.
another thing from Rashford's point of view as well, stability. How many managers has he gone
How
through
many
in
managers?
how
How
many
many
managers,
changes
how
of
many systems,
formation? How
how many
many?
tactics, how
How many
many
new players? Like it's too much. It's happening all too fast, and he has never had like the stable environment to just like grow and just become that player that like we all expected him to be. Like we can maybe say that maybe we overrated him to an extent. Like maybe
yeah,
comparing him to players like Mbappe was a bit much, but at the same time, like
yeah.
Rashford
Because
should be up there.
I felt like we're actually holding this guy back.
Mm,
Like seeing the position United was in, how we were struggling like the past couple of years in terms of like being consistent. It was affecting him in a way too, in terms of him being consistent. I feel like we're holding this guy back. And I always wondered to myself, and I always thought, what if this guy was in Real Madrid right now? What if Rashford was in this club right now?
mm,
How would his career look? I know we
mm.
compared him to Mbappe and all that, but you also have to look at the general situation of the club that he's playing at. So I told myself that people always look at it like, oh, we overrated Rashford. But in my opinion, Rashford is very, very talented. I
Yeah,
feel
he is.
Rashford, when we look at Mbappe and all these guys, I feel like Rashford could easily be on their level or could easily be comparable to them. It's
I
just the
think so.
situation of where he
I think he
was.
can be. Yeah, he can definitely be on that level.
And I didn't want us to do the same thing to Kobe. So
Ugh,
when Amorim was benching Kobe, I'm like, oh, the World Cup is coming up. This guy is literally one of like the best talents in the country. He's on the
like
bench.
literally, he went to the Euros. He played in the Euros
He was on the
final.
bench for Manuel Ugarte. It's not that he
Mustafa,
was even
I
on the
think,
bench.
I
We need
think
to
you know
lock
what it is.
Amorim in
Yeah,
Arkham
we're
Asylum.
about to enter like
Arkham.
a very deep hole, and we're here to talk about Carrick. So
Let's,
let's
let's we've
let's
handled
allow like
Amorim.
we've done a whole 20 minutes rant on Amrim that he deserves. So let's allow it. Like I said, I think that he was a necessary evil. I think he has changed a few things for the better in terms of like players' fitness, in terms of some of the players that he brought in as
Yeah.
well. I think that he changed a few things for the better. And let's not forget that it was him that unlocked Ballon d'Or. Let's not forget that as well.
Zita
So
Amorim. It was not
he was
Amorim.
better played him in left wing first now.
But
It was better
Amorim
played
did
him in
not.
wing first.
Yeah, but he
But
played him in
but
Ringo based on circumstance. It's not like
But still, like bro, he unlocked the trait now. He unlocked the trait. But you know
yes,
what? Like
yeah,
I'm just giving like I don't want to be all Amorim is just the devil or anything. Like he
yeah,
did have a few things, but let's divert from
I
Amorim and let's
suffered.
just talk about Carrick. And what do you think about the results so far under Carrick?
Where do I even start from for Michael Carrick? This is the most fluid football. It's like the players are enjoying. One thing I've not seen in a while in terms of United players, they're enjoying themselves playing, which is one thing. Like the fans are enjoying the football, the players are enjoying the football. Look at the game against City. Cunha, Bruno, Cunha, Bruno. Ah, bro, the football is flowing. The football is flowing.
Yeah,
I'm telling you, super Michael Carrick. I think he doesn't know how much he has changed my life.
well, he actually
Like
doesn't.
in terms of football, I'm smiling. My team is, I'm not used to seeing my team in such a prime position where we are in the. Not only are we in the top four, but
Hmm.
like we're closer to like third. We're closer to
First,
second
we're
even
we're
than
closer
we
to
are to
second.
Liverpool.
We're closer to Liverpool than we
We're
are.
only
So
like
we're
what? We're
closer
like
to Man City than we are to Liverpool.
minus the game today. Before the game, like Villa's play right now, we're two
Yeah,
points behind them after the draw against West Ham. Only 2 points
yeah,
behind them.
yeah.
I look at the form United is on. I'm looking at like how players like Sesko.
Nah,
One thing I
nah.
love
My
about
boss cut striker. Boss cuts.
it's like Carrick just knows how to manage these players in a way that they are playing the best football. It's like
Mm,
he's basically playing to their strengths. You're very good at
mm-hmm,
this. Go out there and
mm-hmm,
do what you're good at.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Kobe, he's going. Look at Kobe against City, bro. His assist against Arsenal too.
Mm.
Kobe is playing some very, very good football. Bruno Fernandez,
He's
and
playing
as
some
averaging
extraordinary
averaging
football.
a one at least one G almost every single game under Carrick. Look at Umbuemo. And it's scary. Before the Dogo injury, it was very, very scary for opposition. Imagine taking off Dogo.
I'm
You've
bringing on
already
Cunha.
suffered Dogo for like maybe let's say like 70 minutes. And they are bringing on Cunha.
Nah. Like just imagine, actually just imagine, like as a defender,
Bro, as a
just imagine
defender,
like they have already
imagine
suffered with
suffering
the pace of Dogu and
Dogo
they are now
and
going to
then
deal with
you
the
see
skill of
Cunha.
Cunha. Like
And
it's like what are
bro,
you like and then or imagine defenders that have to hold Umbremo running in behind for how many minutes of the game
and you see
and then you just bring on
substitution,
Sesko.
Umbuemo for Sesko.
You
Oh
see
my.
a six five Bosco striker warming up ready to come on now.
And I love Sesko because Sesko is he when he's coming on, is like I must be part of this. Like he's coming on to make an
Yeah,
impact.
he wants to
He
actually
wants
make
to
an
be part.
impact.
I was a bit upset that he robbed Bruno of an assist the
Yeah, I
last game
remember.
he had, where he could have
Yeah.
taken a touch
He
before
could have
he
taken a touch. That's
he
a
could have
problem in
taken,
Sesko,
bro.
but that's not
But
that's not
I
what
like
this episode is
his
about.
hunger. He was eager. He was eager to score.
Make
And the
something.
thing
Yeah.
is, Bruno actually wants to find him. He's just always
Mm-hmm.
ready to, okay,
Mm-hmm.
it's my turn to score. You
It's
get
my
that
turn,
sort of
yeah.
hunger. It's my turn. Like this guy's going to find me with that pass. I'm going to make a run that's going to force this guy to pass me the ball. And the goals, the finishing, my God. Just look at
Yeah.
the goal against West Ham,
Mm-hmm.
the finish against West Ham.
Mm-hmm.
And I
Proper
think it was
finish, bro.
Fulham as well.
Fulham as well.
Bro, the goal against
And those
Fulham.
two games, he came off the bench.
He
So,
came
so
off
he
the
came off
bench
the
too.
bench, made an like he won the game at Fulham. He drew the game at
To the
West
game.
Ham. Like is
He's
the
coming to
reason
make an impact.
why exactly. And it's so good to see that from him. It's so good that like he's not taking being benched as like oh my god, this manager doesn't trust me. He's taking it as
Yeah,
like
I
initiative
have
to
my
actually like
rule.
yeah, I have my role. And like when he's coming on, like it doesn't like how you can tell like a player is coming on, is like if this manager man, but I guess I have to come on. But like he
Yeah.
actually looks as if like bro, like bring me on,
It's
I'm
like, yeah,
ready. Like
Sesko is like, okay, I know why this manager is bringing me on now. He needs a goal.
he
So
needs
he's
it.
looking to
Like
me. He's looking to me for that winner or to get us the
exactly.
point here.
Like he
That's why
believes
he's
in me
bringing me on. He believes in me. I
and
hate that we
everything.
lost Dogo so soon because we're literally seeing one of the best wing performances, like from a Premier League winger. He's
Ethan
not
Saka.
even he's not even
Ethan
he's
Saka. Who said that? Who
like,
said
where did
that?
that come from? Like, who
Like
was
where did that
that?
come from?
But
Ethan
bro,
Saka. That was a good. I don't know. I don't
nah,
know. Just said. Just
Dogo
said.
on the wing. He was
Nah.
special. He was special. Bro,
Ballon
he was
d'Or. For
special.
me though, in terms of like what's the difference between the like what do I think about the results so far? Like they have been very positive. We started off with Man City, a whole
Oh,
Man
that
City.
was a very good spark. That was the
That
best.
was a
That was I
very
think that
good
was
like
a very good place to start. I like how our
exactly that was
fixtures
like
were very
ignition.
difficult. Like the fixtures we had were difficult fixtures at the
Yeah.
start. They gave Carrick to like a very very difficult job coming in. You're playing City first. After City, you have Arsenal, and he wasn't shook. He came in, he had a
Wasn't
job.
shook.
Now he I've beaten City. Oh, is it not Arsenal? I just beat City. Why should Arsenal give
Like I
me?
just beat Ateta's older brother. So why can't I beat this guy? It'd be so easy for Carrick to actually like settle. Like imagine if like we had drawn. Imagine if like let's even say we had won City and then drew Arsenal and then drew Fulham, right? Like as much as like we would not necessarily be happy, a lot of people could have said that like interim
It's not
manager
bad.
drawing
Yeah,
to
no,
Arsenal like it's not bad. But Carrick said, "Nah, dead that shit, bro. Like I'm winning these games for you guys. Like I'm doing this for
exactly.
you guys." And is this is what we have wanted. Like this is what we've been crying out for. Like I said, with the results so far, like I'm happy with like everything that I've seen. I'm happy with the games. I'm happy with the difference in the games as well in terms of like Man City being Man City, Arsenal being Arsenal, and then we now played like a team like Fulham where that's the game that everybody's like. Can you imagine like that's the game that everybody's actually thinking like
Yeah,
This is actually like the real test because like you end like not that anybody can go and beat Man City and Arsenal because not anybody can just do that. But we all know the way that teams approach playing like Man City and Arsenal, and it's
yeah.
easy to get the result. But the fact that we now got the result against Fulham, who have given us trouble in the past, who we drew with at the beginning of the season and have been giving us trouble for how long?
Rival fans don't hate me for this, but I feel like from now to the end of the season, I'm confident that we can go to the end of the season without losing the game. Even if
Yeah,
we draw here and there, I feel like we can go to the end of the season without losing the game because that's the type of energy, that's the type of atmosphere that Carrick has created for me.
I
Convincing
agree.
wins against City, convincing wins against Arsenal.
Convincing is the key word. Convincing
I'm
is the key word there.
convinced.
Yeah, I'm
I
like
remember
literally
the time we had
convincing.
the podcast with James about Amorim. I was like,
Yeah, yeah, like while the results are okay, but I'm not convinced.
it's like
Like,
you know when
convince me.
something is like just made. Okay, we're at least in a position where we are challenging for Europe, but like in that European battle. But it's like that's not where United is meant to be. That's not where I feel, and I also feel with the players we had. That's why I had so like much of a problem with Amorim's system. If we played the way we're playing now since the start of the season, we would have been challenging for the league right now. We would have been challenging for the league title.
Yeah.
If the way we're playing now, with the way Bruno Fernandez is playing, with the way the players, the passes are linking up, Dogu, Bruno, Dogu again, and Dogu with that confidence to shoot the way he shot against Arsenal. Left Raya hopeless. That's goal of season. I don't want to hear whatever from anybody. That's the goal of the season. That Dogu goal against Arsenal is the goal.
Mm,
Forget the United bias. That's the goal of the season.
that's fair. I mean,
Screw the
bro, it's
noise.
definitely a contender. But
Screw
Shobosa
the
just scored a free
noise.
against Man City, though.
Oh shit, that's true. That bro,
Bro, like,
that
I don't know.
that Swaz
I don't know.
shots, bro. That free kick
Bro.
was crazy.
But that's not what this episode is about, so let's not even
Yeah, let's
divert.
leave. In conclusion, I'll just end on this note. Thank you, Michael Carrick.
Thank you.
Thank you. You've changed my life. Thank you.
Thank you. Like, thank you with all our hearts. And people, well, like we said, like we feel together like lucky number 5, right? Like,
Yeah.
And I don't even like this is going to sound kind of crazy coming from
Yeah.
me, coming from like a United fan, but I am kind of happy that that game went the way it went, and I'm happy that we didn't get all 3 points, if that makes sense. Shall I tell
Rightly
you
says.
why?
Yeah.
So it's not even that I'm happy that we didn't get all 3 points in terms of like
But you're
every game
not
that we go in.
disappointed.
I'm
I'll
not
just put it
disappointed. Like so maybe I phrased that wrong. I'm not disappointed. And what I mean by that is that like, we've been on such a high, we've been winning all these games. That's how momentum works, that's how form works. That's just how confidence works as well. Like, you're just on a high, you're just flowing and everything, right?
we
It's
needed that
nice to
reality
see
check.
it's nice to see that like, oh, like when things actually get rough, what happens? Are we going to end up losing this game? How are these players going to approach this game? And let's be real, we didn't play well in that game. Like
Yeah.
we didn't play well. A lot of players were off it. Dalo, who was one of the better players against Spurs, was terrible. I know the thing about it, like it's so crazy the narrative of that game because the narrative that we came out with is that like, oh, United failed to get 5, not. But the narrative should be United remain unbeaten under Michael Carrick. But because
Correct.
of this United Strand guy, I'm not blaming him. I'm not saying that he's a. All those guys are saying that like he's a cost to the club or he's a
Yeah.
whatever. He's a
I don't
virus or
understand the
anything.
heat around him, but
I don't indulge in the hate, but I can see in terms of like this now because the narrative, like bro, us getting a point in that game, us not losing that game should be a positive. Yes, it's West Ham. Yes, this is a team that looks as if they can get relegated, but this is also a team that is on form right now.
they're
They've
on
won 3
form
of their
as
last
well
4
too.
games. We haven't beaten them at their house for how
In the
long? I can't remember
yeah,
the last time that we beat them.
long, yeah, I
We
can't
have
remember last time.
struggled with them for some
Yeah.
time. So, like, given the context of it, like, given how that game went, given just how difficult they were to play against, I just feel like we should have come, like, we shouldn't have come out of it happy. Definitely, we couldn't have come out of it
Yeah.
like, oh, thank God, but we should have come out of it like, oh, thank God we remain
We did
unbeaten under
lose,
Carrick.
yeah,
Not,
we remain,
oh my
yeah.
God, we couldn't get 5 wins because so that some guy can cut his hair. Like that shouldn't be the narrative, right? And that does put like a negative spin on because it makes it seem as if like, oh, United have made all this progress, but they still couldn't get 5 wins in a row. Like that's how it feels right now.
Yeah. I'm not saying it's his fault too, but I feel like at the same time, it sort of puts unnecessary pressure
On
because
Carrick.
now, if you think about it, Carrick probably wouldn't mention it in the dressing room. The players will mention it, but they know. They know what's going
Everybody
on.
was like watching for to see if they can
Exactly.
get the fifth win. It was because that game felt like a final. It felt
Yeah.
like a final, and it felt
And
like
I
West Ham were
feel
playing with their lives.
yeah, and I feel like when it gets to that fifth game, like forget the build up to the fifth game is like these guys are just playing to win. But when it gets to that fifth game, it now dawns, oh, we're trying to win for somebody to get a haircut. That
Where do you get?
whole yeah, so I feel like that whole narrative sort of messes up the whole like flow, especially
Yeah,
when we're on form.
yeah.
I remember there was a time so that Amorim we had like, I think 3 wins in a row,
Mm-hmm.
and then they started to give that pressure again that oh
That
these guys
pressure of
trying
like, oh,
yeah
five, like that puts so much because it's not even like, yes, we should be getting 5 wins and everything, but is that pressure on that lucky number five, right? Like, is that, oh, they've gotten one, they've gotten two, they've gotten three, they've gotten four? Like, when you start putting that pressure on lucky number five, because like we can get the fifth one and then 6 to 10 are a breeze, like there's no pressure, nobody's thinking about it, but because there's so much going on around, oh, can we get 5 wins in a row? It just seems because like as much like Carrick was asked about it before the game and everything, right? And he said that like, oh, he knows about it, but he doesn't care. Like, like he doesn't really care about it. But at the same time, like you said, like it's probably on their mind, not that some guy needs to cut his hair, but that there's so much pressure on lucky number five. And it's a whole thing, but at the same time, like that's why I don't come out of that game thinking that like, yes, we should have gotten all 3 points against West Ham. But at the end of the day, given how the game went, given that we could have come out of there and then Carrick could have gotten his first loss and we could have dropped all 3 points. And we could,
yeah.
like, given the fact that we got the point, like, I'm happy with that. But based on how we're playing, though, like, yeah, you already seem like you expect us to finish in top four. But where do you actually see us finishing in the league this season?
Realistically, I don't see Villa. I see us finishing third. I'll be very honest. I see us taking that third spot from Villa. I feel like the title race is sort of already between those two clubs, City and
Yeah.
Arsenal. I don't see Villa being part of that title race. I see them joining us in that top four battle. But in terms of where we finish in that top four battle, I see us finishing third. Then I see Chelsea finishing fourth and then Villa finishing fifth.
Mm,
That's my
mm.
prediction.
I mean, I back that, bro, because it doesn't look like we are going to lose to the end of the season. We can say that now, anything can
Yeah.
happen. But also, like, it just seems as if we're touching form at the right time of the season, right? Like, if this was happening earlier in the season, we'd be like, oh, we're going to burn out. But this is happening at the right time. Players are growing into their own at the right time. Sesko is here at the right time. Bruno is here at the right time, right? So I see us finishing third. I'll say that
Yeah.
when I look at the results, I'm not thinking, oh, let's just finish fourth or fifth. I'm
No.
thinking like, let's actually finish there. Let's actually overtake Villa, Man City, and Arsenal. They can do that whole thing with first and
Yeah.
second, but let's finish third or something. But
And let's go to the let's just finish in the Champions League position.
let's
That's
just
the
let's
important
bro,
thing.
let's just make it to Champions League. And
Yeah.
if we do make it to Champions League, like if we do finish third, do you think that Carrick can become permanent manager?
Hmm. That's a very good point. I think that's probably what he wants, but knowing how the board operates,
Mm,
I feel like he will be part of the conversations for permanent manager, but they will be under candidates. I don't feel like it's going to be a
definitely.
certified thing where oh, as a caretaker, this guy actually did really, really good and finished third, and he was excellent. I don't think they're gonna look at that and be like, oh, automatically that
Yeah.
means he's going to be permanent manager. I feel that will just put him in a prime position to compete with other people that they've shortlisted or other
Mm,
people they have in mind to take over the job. And
mm.
him finishing in that third position would help his case a lot.
You made the point about like that's what he wants. I don't even know. I'm not sure if that is what Carrick wants. Like, I'm not saying he doesn't want it, but I don't think that his mind is on getting the permanent manager job. And this is just a rumor. I'm not sure if it's true, but I saw that like one of the main things that was the difference between hiring Carrick and hiring Oli was that Oli wanted the job permanently, right? Like
Permanently,
Oli
yeah.
wanted all like I think maybe he would have started off as an interim and just like Carrick, if he had done well, get the job permanently. But I think that he wanted more of like a permanent track Whereas Carrick was like more okay with like if we're at the end of the
Short
season,
term,
you
yeah.
want me to go, then go. But at the same time, like I don't think that he doesn't like I don't think he doesn't not want it if that's the correct. I think that there's a part of him that wants it, but I don't think it's like all that is on his mind. And if it's a matter of like would I take it, right? It's like I would if like he's the best option there because I'm looking at him and I'm looking at the other managers who can potentially come in, right? And there's only a few managers that will take over Carrick. Like there's only a few. I feel like if you bring me Glasner or Ivaiola or Marco Silva or Gareth Southgate, I'm not taking those guys over Carrick. Like I'm taking Carrick over those guys because as much as like they are more experienced and everything, like they are also wild cards. Those are the guys that like I'm thinking that like, oh,
Yeah.
if Carrick, like, if it's between them and Carrick, then I'll take Carrick. But then if you now start talking about like Thomas Tuchel and
Luis
what's his name,
Enrique.
Luis Enrique, then you're speaking my
When you bring
language.
up
You're like,
those big
okay,
names,
these are the guys that will take over Carrick. But I'm not bringing them smaller names or
yeah.
over Carrick. But do you have any reservations about Carrick becoming permanent manager? That's the main question.
Honestly,
Like, is
no.
there anything in your mind?
I wouldn't be against it, but at the same time, looking at what happened with Ole, I
That's where
remember
everybody's going to.
there's that initial high of
Yeah.
wow, we've not had this sort of, excitement in a long time, that sort of thing. So people look at it when these guys start underperforming or the hype dies or like
Mm-hmm.
when it reaches that stage where you have to now turn on the manager, you forget how you were in support of him or how you were so happy when you were winning 4 games in a row or when you were
Yeah.
becoming this thing unbeaten and all those sort of things. You forget all of that. I focus on the fact that, oh, we are not performing now and this guy is the reason.
Yeah.
So we're very, I feel like as a club in general, we're very, very quick to turn on
Yeah. When
managers
things
when
when
the
things start to go
performance,
bad.
yeah. So
And
I'd be more comfortable if we get a manager that at least we have high expectations from the get go.
mm,
If you're signing Carrick on a permanent, like we did with Ole, when they're like, oh, he's a P teacher, this one is just lucky, he's just getting them lucky wins. Oh, he got to Europa final, oh, lucky. Oh, he got into another final again, lucky. It's just because of the players he has, like that luck of
yeah,
okay, at least he's going somewhere, but he's not good enough to actually get the job, like get
yeah,
the through the finish line and get the job done and maybe win those trophies. I don't want that to be the case with Carrick because I'll be very, very honest with you. If Carrick becomes permanent manager, I'm putting aside the results that we're having right now.
yeah,
My expectations for Carrick, if he's becoming a manager with minus these decisions, I wouldn't have high expectations for him. So to be so quick for me to turn on him. Now, if you look at the likes of Enrique, someone like
mm,
Enrique coming to the club is going to give me that nostalgia of when Mourinho came in. These are people
mm,
that have more faith in to,
change like actually like
exactly.
so you like your
So
expectations will just like be where like top four
exactly, it's
competing
like
for the
I'm
league
already
potentially
expecting
stuff
this
like
guy
that.
is coming to come and compete for the league title.
With the whole thing with Oli, right? Like that's a reservation that everybody has. Like everybody's looking at it and everybody's thinking, is this just another Oli situation, right? But I also like let's not use Oli as like the barometer or anything. Like let's not kind of displace the possibility that Carrick might actually just be a class manager, right? Like I'm not saying that he is,
Yeah,
I'm not saying that like he is the guy or anything, but let's not displace that possibility because there
yeah.
is a
Let's not use
possibility
Uli
that we
as a
might have
benchmark.
yeah, like there is a possibility that we might just have hit the nail on the needle, right? Like there is a possibility that we might just have gotten a very good manager. And with the thing with Carrick, I don't even think that like he's a top manager. I think that he's just exactly what we needed at this time, if that makes sense. I think that he's exactly what we need. Going forward, we have to assess and everything to see if that's exactly what we need. But I think that at this moment in time, it was exactly what we need. And I think that that's also what happened with Oli in terms of his interim role because when Oli left, we needed a renewal of energy. Like, our energy was down, everybody was so down, everybody was so low, and we forgot what
Mm,
Manchester United was. Oli came in knowing exactly what Manchester United should be, and he gave us that renewal of energy, gave us that renewal of hope, right? With
yeah,
Carrick, what we lost under Amorim was more like it wasn't just energy. Yes, we lost energy and everything, but we also needed these players to just like rediscover themselves in terms of like expressing themselves, playing their best positions, doing their thing, right? And
Yeah.
we and then we just need the manager to come in and just okay, yeah, you calm, play calm, yeah, CM play CM, yeah, DM play
Yeah.
DM. We need the manager to do that, and we also need the manager to coach good tactics because not just about putting them in their good in their best position. Because the reflector came in, put players in their best position, and it didn't work. Right, like got knocked
Yeah.
out of the FA Cup, it didn't work. So this is now where I now think that Carrick is actually doing a job because he's not just a renewal of energy. This isn't a new manager bounce. I think that he's actually coaching these wins. Like you said, you're seeing the key difference between like you're seeing the key difference. You're seeing the way they were playing in the Arsenal games, the Man City games, the passing. Because like it's so easy to go into all these games and just counter attack, right? But we're
Yeah.
playing sweet football, we're playing good football that everybody's like remembering after the games, that everybody actually wants to watch the games back. Everybody's actually checking lineups before the game starts and everything. Like we're playing good football. And Carrick is coaching these wins. He's making the right substitutions. He has
Yeah.
the right tactics for the games, and he is coaching these wins. Right under Oli, like I said, it was a clear thing that it was just like new manager bounce in terms of like the renewal of
Yeah.
energy. Everybody just feels like alive again. But under Carrick, like we're actually coaching these wins, right?
The
We're,
game that convinced me was that Arsenal game, that this guy's
Mhm.
actually coaching these guys
He's
on how
coaching
to
these
play.
guys exactly. Like he's actually like show like because that Arsenal game. Look at the way it started. Arsenal on a normal day, Arsenal is winning that game the way it started because Arsenal started better than us. Arsenal were
Yeah.
like I didn't see the way out for United when that game started, but we grew into the game and then we played the way they wanted to play. And like I said, like that's a coach coaching a win, right? Like that's the coach that had a tactic that maybe it didn't work at first because Arsenal came out the way they
Mm.
came out, but at the same time, like it just started working and then like we won the game, right? And like I said, the only reservation I have with Carrick is in terms of like the formations that he's putting out, the players that he's putting out in every game because like we're playing the same players in every single game. And
Yeah.
I think that like the Fulham game, for example, and this West Ham game that happened recently, for example, I think that we could have gone with like Sesko up top to start
Mm.
rather than Umbremo. I think that like
Mbemo.
the requirements to play against Arsenal and the requirements to play against Man City are different, and I think that would have
From here.
required Sesko in those games. He did bring him on, and Sesko did have an impact on those two games, but at the same time, like he didn't start with him. And is that like that's what you see with interims, right? Like interims sometimes can be
Yeah.
limited, doesn't play like the same formation over and over again. So is that him just being an interim, playing the formation that he knows, or is that
Yeah.
him like being clueless as to what not clueless, but not knowing who should actually start in this particular game given the demands of this game? Like, do you get what I mean? So
Yeah.
like you need to know that Mbemo cannot play strike like Mbemo playing strike against Arsenal, Mbemo playing strike against West Ham is very different. So you need to know that, right? So I
Yeah.
feel like that was my like looking at all the five games that I've played, that's my reservation. That's what I've come out of it, which is like, like why didn't you play Sesko in this game? Why didn't you start him in
Yeah.
this game? But he did atone for his mistakes in both games and we got the result in both of them. So yeah, I'll say
Yeah.
that. But Carrick might actually just be a good manager and we're just like we're scarred from Oli, so we're thinking, wow, like
Yeah.
let's not make that mistake again. But Carrick might just be a good manager. But
Yeah.
the final question now is if that role did come to him, do you think that he will accept it?
Yeah. I think there's no manager or there's like nobody does, you know, in that world or in that position where, oh, I'm a manager, I've managed Middlesbrough. It's the same. It was like the same thing with someone like Liam Rossini. You don't
Mm,
present a manager or somebody with that sort of opportunity, and they would be inclined to decline.
mm,
I feel like anybody would be happy to, especially looking at the performances he's had. I don't think he'll miss out on the opportunity to continue the good job he's doing. But at the
mm,
same time, he could also look at it as an opportunity, like put it as a stamp on his resume, that in the
mm.
short period that I managed Man United, this
Manchester
is how well
United.
I did. And that will look
Yeah.
attractive to other clubs in case he's looking for less pressure or like less
Mm,
responsibility. Because I always say it, the United managerial role is a very, very difficult job. It's a lot
it
of
is.
pressure on you straight out the gate.
Yeah.
Anybody coming into the job, there's already a lot of eyes at the back of your head.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people waiting for you to fail or do well. They're just waiting to see what you're going to do. And they're just ready. They're ready and wait like they're waiting and they're ready to react to whatever
Yeah.
you do. So I feel like it's up to him. But me personally, I don't think there's any manager in this world that will see the Man United job. They are offered the Man United job and they say no. Look
I
at
agree.
Amorim. Amorim, United were in a very, very bad position. They came with the United job. I don't
Yeah,
even think he fully saw the terms and conditions, but he said, yes, it's United, I'll take it.
I'll take it. Like
So,
I agree because like it doesn't get bigger than United, right? And also like I don't think that players or managers look at these type of roles the way that fans do. Because like with fans we analyze or like why would a player want to come to Man United? They are
mm,
seeing the players that have kind of like flopped when they came. Like why would they want to join
yeah.
Manchester United, right? Or manager is like this job is very pressure. Like why would I want to come? But
And
in their
yeah,
own point of view, they're thinking I am the guy that can change this. Like a player that is coming is thinking, oh, this striker flopped, this striker flopped, this
I
striker
want
flopped.
to.
I'm going to be the guy. Like I want to be the guy, right? And that's also like
Mm,
it can also be in the heads of managers, where like mentioned Amorim. Like Amorim came in and as much as we're the terrible situation and he was on the track to win the league title with Sporting when he came in, he's like, bro, like
it's
this is
United.
Manchester United. Like,
Yeah.
bro, and then like if I believe that I can change the
I
fortunes of
succeed.
this club.
I succeed here, I'm
Like
a legend. That's
exactly.
that's
So
what's in everybody's mind. The club is just so
exactly.
big. It's so big that no matter where they are, like if they're in a bad position, you want to be the one to go there because it's a big club
And
and
change
change
it.
that. If they're in a good
Exactly.
position, you want to go there and be part of that.
Exactly.
Things
So
is
I can see a world where like Carrick accepts it, but at the same time I can also see a world where he
where he
doesn't.
doesn't.
I
Yeah,
can see a world where like he's just like, thank you for the offer,
I've done
but
my job.
like
Yeah,
I just want like I'm an interim. Like I just wanted to do like if
yeah.
you guys need me again to be an interim, call
I'm
me.
available. Yeah,
But like right now, like I've done my thing. But yeah, that's what I think. And I think that so far so good under Carrick. We haven't lost under him in his previous tenure or in this tenure. So far so good. But that's just our own opinion, Sha.
yeah.
Like let's know what you guys think in the comments. Do you think that Carrick should be the permanent manager at the end of the season? If not Carrick, then who? Let's know all of that in the comments. But with that does come the end of this episode. Thank you guys again for tuning in. Mustafa, thank you for joining the episode today. Really appreciate it. And
Glory, glory, Man United.
glory, glory, Man United. I just
Yeah.
hope to see you guys again next time. Safe.